So today we are going to use our graphing calculator to help us graph that best fit line with this information. Okay, so remind yourself how we do this. It says the table below shows the height and shoe size of 6 randomly selected men. So we're trying to see, is there a connection between how big your shoes are and how tall you are? Okay, we obviously know that there's probably some truth to that. The bigger your shoe, the taller you are, but we'll find out how true it is. Okay, so the height is in inches. The shoe size is men's shoe size. If we want to make a scatter plot with this data, okay, we're going to go through our information. We are going to use the stat button on this calculator. So right here, okay, I hit stat, and then I'm going to edit the stat data. Okay, this is going to be our list. If there's data already there, remember we go up. So let's say there was 9 and 3, and if we wanted to clear that data, we go all the way up to L1, and we just hit clear, enter. Here's the clear button. Right there, we hit clear, enter, and it clears it out. Okay, we're going to type in that information. So 67, 70, enter, 73.5 inches, 75 inches, 78, 66. There's their heights. Once we've done that, then we're going to type in their shoe sizes in the next column. So I'm typing in 8.5, 9.5, 11, 12, 13, and 8. Okay, once we've done that, we can look at our graph. You don't have to do this every time. I'm going to do it all at once, that way you see it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is look at our graph. Okay, we have to make sure our graph is turned on. Okay, on your calculators it probably is, because students have been doing this, but if you've forgotten, okay, the way you do that is I'm going to hit second, okay, this button right here, second, and then stat plot, which is this button right here. Okay, second stat plot. Okay, and the first one says plot 1. Right now mine says off. I want to turn that on, so I'm going to hit enter to turn it on. It's now on. Once it's on, okay, I'm going to change the zoom. All right, so to do that, I'm going to use the zoom button right here. Zoom, and I want to go down to zoom number 9. Okay, this is going to change the window that you're looking at. I want to zoom my graph into the statistical information that I've typed in. Okay, so I'm going to hit zoom 9 and hit enter, and that should give you a graph of your dots. Okay, those are the different points that we used. Everybody good to that point? Once we've got our points, then we want to make our best fit line. Okay, we want to draw that straight line that best separates our data. To do that, we're using the stat button again. Okay, but this time we are going to calculate. So we are going right here, we're going to calculate data. So I'm going to move over on my menu, and I want to choose number 4 for linear regression. Linear regression is a fancy word for best fit line. Okay, that's going to give us the equation of the line that breaks up our data. So I go down to number 4, I hit enter. This screen looks different for different students. If it just says linear regression, then hit enter. Mine does this. I don't know what the difference is. Okay, but I'm going to scroll down to calculate for mine, and I'm going to hit enter. And there's my linear regression. Okay, so if I were writing the equation of my line, the equation of my line is y equals, my a value is my slope, so 0.421 x. That b value is my y-intercept, so negative 19.813. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so what's wrong with mine right now? I don't have an r-squared value, right? Remember what that r-squared value told you. It told you how good is your information. Okay, mine doesn't have it right now. Okay, so I didn't do this because I forgot that my calculator wasn't set up. But if for some reason you get to it and it's not set up, it's because our diagnostic is not on. Okay, if you get to a test or a quiz and you get stuck, it's not showing up, I'll help you. All right, but I'll remind you how to do that. I want to pick catalog down here. Okay, so to get to that, I'm going to hit second and the number 0 for catalog. And I just got to scroll down to diagnostic on. So this will take me a second. It's in alphabetical order. Okay, so I want to turn my diagnostic on, enter. Then if I do my linear regression again, it should do it for me here. Okay, I want that r-squared value. That's a good thing for me. There we go. My r-squared value is 0.994. Okay, we'll get to what that means here in a second. So we found our equation of the line. It told us it. Okay, if we want to graph it, we can. if I hit the y equals button in the top-hand corner and I type in that equation, 0.421 x, here's my x button right here, 0.421x minus 19.813. And now I'm going to hit the graph button to see what our picture looks like. It's going to draw in that best fit line for us. Okay, it should be a pretty good line as to what we need. Okay, there's my best fit line. What would you say is true about the dots and my line? Is it good? Are they close to the line? Yeah, they're almost on top of it. Okay, that is a very strong correlation. Okay, remember that phrase, strong correlation. The closer they are to the line, the stronger the correlation. Okay, that's what this r squared number tells me. This r squared number tells me how good is the correlation. The closer it is to 1, the stronger the correlation. So 0.994 is a very strong correlation. Okay, if a number gets below about 0.5, that's when we know it's a weak correlation. Okay, and there's a chart that we got yesterday that I'll give you. Okay, the higher the number is, the better the correlation. The last question asks us to find the height expected. It says if a man has a shoe size of 10.5, what would his predicted height be? So what are we going to plug in? 10.5. Yep, 10.5. That's what we're going to figure out here. We're going to plug in 10.5, but I have a feeling that this isn't going to go very well. Yeah, you got to plug it in for y, because it's our y value. Okay, when we set it up, that 10.5 was going to be our y value. So this is a little annoying here. We got to work backwards. Okay, because when we set it up earlier, that was our x's and that was our y's, which is fine, but we're going to have to work backwards in order to calculate this. So I'm going to have to add 19.813. You don't have to do this very often, but in this one we do. So in my calculator, I'm going to take 10.5 plus 19.813. What else do I need to do with that number? Divide. So this is 30.313 is equal to 0.421x. I got to divide by 0.421. Divide by 0.421. Hit enter. There's my height. And that number, does that height make sense with the other answers? If you would have typed that in for x, you would have gotten some crazy number, and it wouldn't have made sense here. It should make sense for your data. Okay? The height expected here is 72 inches, okay, when we round a little bit. So we're saying a 10.5 shoe size is 72 inches. Well, this guy had 11 and was 73.5. This guy was 9.5 and was 70. So that seems to be in the right realm. Okay, it's about where they need to be. Questions about something we did with the scatter plots?